from presidents to head of states and chief justices of the country. One of the products of the school, former head of state, General Yakubu Gawan, said, education is a tool for national development. As such, it should not be overlooked.
This lecture that he had given, and I hope that he will also present it to both the Minister for Education, for his education, and also let Mr. President have a look at it, because he will gain a lot from it, and with that he will approve a lot of the recommendations that have been made here at this lecture.
In a keynote lecture, Minister of Interior, who is also a product of the school, identified lack of education as a major factor responsible for the current security challenge in the country.
We need to invest more in education as a core part of national security spending. It is the best way to protect the peace after conflict, and indeed the very first peace dividend.
Highlight of the event include presenting Award of Excellence to the Minister of Interior. In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
African Women of Virtue, a book that points out the enormous social and economic benefits of educating the girl child, has been presented to the public. The author, Hajia Laraba Abdullahi, who is now 80 years old, alludes a renowned educationist to her receiving education as a girl child. Chidimma Ndubisi reports.
The autobiography of 13 chapters, titled African Women of Virtue, stipulates that the key to women's socio-economic empowerment and contribution to national development is through educating them from an early age.
We have a lesson for girls and women that they must pay attention to girl child education.
To educate a girl means educating a family.
The author, using precision writing and compression of English language, a skill acquired through her exposure to education at an early stage, was able to narrate her 80 years experience of focus and ruggedness in attaining a career height in 77 pages. She also independently trained her 3 children.
I believe in playing football, and she gave me how to go and play a little football, but give me my own educational program. I was able, because of our educational support services from the girl child level and to the child when she becomes a mom, how to balance it, to manage me, to making sure that I balance the two and give her the desired result, and obviously giving the nation what I have been given from my background.
In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
Well, still talking books, good governance thrives in an atmosphere of peace. Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha said this at the presentation of a book written in honor of the Deputy State Governor, Eze Madumere. Nkiru Onyejesi reports.
Governor Rochas extolled the humility and hard work virtue in the life of Prince Eze Madumere.
I did not see him as a deputy governor. In fact, I think we are more colleagues than this governor, deputy governor relationship.
Others, including the governor of Kano State and the chairman of the occasion, spoke this way.
Put everything together, it portrays defeatizing and governance in Nigeria.
You have been a highly devoted follower. You doesn't fire of your children, committed party man, and a loyal man to your boss.
Prince Madumere expressed his feelings.
Everything that was said here, everything that is written, it is this first family that has tolerated me for more than over 23 years, and I remain grateful.
The 7-chapter book entitled Eze Madumere, A True Manifestation of a Loyal Prince, authored by Peter Claver Obi, tried to capture his biography, also highlighted his good virtue as a good follower and political journey so far. Present at the event include wives of the Imo State and Kano State governors and other top government functionaries from across the states. In Owerri, Nkiru Onyejesi, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. You're watching Panorama on the network service of the NTA. Let's pause now for some messages. More reports shortly. Stay with us.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Thank you for being there. Ahead of the forthcoming Northern Political and Economic Summit scheduled for 10th and 11th of this month in Kaduna, the governors say general development of the region and Nigeria as a whole tops the agenda. Correspondent Muhammad Abubakar reports that prominent sons and daughters of the region had to make presentations.
The summit, which is under the auspices of the Northern Elders Forum and other like minds, was initiated in 2011 primarily to reposition the North in tune with current realities. Emphasis is, however, on the political, social, and economic well-being of the region, and by extension Nigeria, as the country forges ahead among Committee of Nations. Professor Ango Abdullahi is the spokesperson of the forum.
We still believe that we can continue to influence events in the North, and by implication influence events in the country, because this is a very large segment of Nigeria, and if things are not going well in the North, you can take it from me that not very many things will go well in the rest of the country.
During the 2 days event, presentations are expected from some notable figures in the North on topical issues including Malam Adomifika, Paul Onongo, Alhaji Bello Kirfi, Professor Atahiru Jega, and Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka, among others. The governors of Sokoto, Plateau, Gombe, as well as the chairman Northern Governors Forum are billed to be part of the summit. In Kaduna, Muhammad Abubakar, NTA News.
To the judiciary now, where the Court of Appeal sitting in Benin has stepped down an application seeking for an injunction to stop the installation of Edaike Uselu, Ehenede Erediawa, as the 39th Oba of Benin, ruling that the coronation should go ahead as planned on 20th of this month. Mohammed Abdulkadir reports.
The respondents, Rich Arisco Sewenge, prayed the court to stop the installation of the new Oba of Benin, Prince Ehenede Erediawa, the Edaike Nselu. The injunction is premised on what it's called the non-inclusion of Ogiamie family in the program of event for the installation. Appearances included counsels to the Edo State government, led by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Austin Alige, who argued that matters on the application cannot be heard. Consequently, the presiding judge, Justice Olukayode Baba, agreed with Alige that the court will not grant any injunction ruling that the status quo must be maintained. What this means is that the case earlier filed at the lower court lacked merit because the people have no local standing going to court relying on a law that does not exist. In Benin, Edo State, Muhammad Abdelkader, NTA News.
170 medical professionals have been selected by the Nigerian Christian Pilgrim Commission, NCPC, for the 2016 Christian Pilgrimage. Executive Secretary of the Commission, Reverend Tor Uja, disclosed this at conference for orientation of Federal Medical Committee and Federal Medical Team. Lydia Bassi was there.
The health professionals who were selected after an examination conducted by Joint Admissions Examinations Board, JAMB, on 5th August 2016 are to ensure pilgrims remain in good health throughout the exercise. The results, Tor Uja said, showed Nigeria is gifted with well-trained medical professionals. He encouraged the federal government to increase funding in the health sector for better service delivery.
I believe that the medical personnel we have in this country are not inferior to anyone anywhere in the world. With better equipment, drugs and consumables, we can cut down or eliminate the medical tourism that has taken toll upon Nigeria.
Chairman, Federal Medical Committee, NCPC, Dr. 2016. Lydia Bassi, NTA News.
A former Federal Commissioner of Information, Chief Edwin Clark, has called on the Niger Delta youths to tread with caution in their fight for justice and stop the destruction of national assets for the good and prosperity of the nation. He stated this at the Niger Delta stakeholders meeting in Abuja. Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
The meeting brought all men and women of goodwill from the Niger Delta under one umbrella on the current situation in the region. Chief Clark, who said that the grievances of the youths dates back to the late 50s, stressed that the federal government should show signs of seriousness and nominate genuine representatives from the region to address the issues.
So what is happening today is not different from what happened earlier on. And we all participated, and the amnesty was granted. I want all of us, and I appeal to Mr. President, that we were not against him. All we are saying that we are part of this country and we should be recognized.
Rural groups, out of concern for an interest in the region, have sprung up and made efforts to right the wrongs of the Niger Delta.
Following the continuous menace of cattle grazing in residential areas and other vicinities in Abuja, the nation's capital, the Abuja Environmental Protection Board has held a meeting with the leadership of the Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, FCT chapter, towards finding amicable solutions to the lingering problems. Mitaire Ikpen tells us more.
Several directives by the FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello to pastoralists to stay off the Abuja city center appear to have fallen on deaf ears. At this meeting, the cattle breeders say insufficient grazing reserves make it impossible to cater for millions of their cattle in the territory.
If you are talking from here to Abuja, that you cannot see cattle, that is a difficult task to address unless and until number of grazing reserves are put in place in many places. Maybe in each area we have about 5-6 grazing reserves. Then that is when we will now be thinking of having grazing concentrated in one direction.
Responding to the call for more grazing reserves, Director Abuja Environmental Protection Board, Omolola Olanikbekun, said the AEPB will still enforce Abuja laws, but with a human face.
It has become a national issue about the issues of cattle all over the city. They are changing the title of FCT to cattle territory, and then, it's not that the board has not been working, but actually now that we have brought them on board, they have given us assurances that actually we should look forward to a better situation. We are going to put some markings along some areas that very soon people will see in the city, and then definitely we are going to be working together now.
In the last 2 weeks, the AEPB has arrested 16 pastoralists along with 60 cattle and 25 sheep, but they were released after payment of various fines. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Nigeria's creative industry has been showcased as a sector with the unique ability to enhance economic development through job creation and wealth generation. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed stated this in a message to the closing ceremony of the 2016 National Festival of Arts and Culture in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital. Anthony Fossen reports.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, whose address to the occasion was read by the Director General National Council for Arts and Culture, Dayo Keshi, said the 2016 festival, which is the 29th in the series, has clearly demonstrated that culture and tourism will generate huge resources for the nation.
Culture could be one of the component tools for driving our development goals and aspiration if properly tapped. In this direction, I wish to reiterate my call on the private sector to step up efforts towards exploring investment opportunities in this sector.
Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel, on his part, said insecurity and crime is no hindrance to developing the culture and tourism sector. Citing nations whose tourism sector is the backbone of their economies, said they are not insulated from crimes and insecurity. Therefore, Nigeria cannot be an exception.
We need to do all we can not to demarcate our country in its potential, especially in tourism, by constantly harping on the negative as opposed to the positive side about our nation. Our country is blessed, and together we will work to make it even greater.
Events that characterize the festival include arts and craft, traditional wrestling, drama, poetry, food fair, essay, and painting and drawing competition. In the end, Bayelsa became overall winners, with host Akwa Ibom trailing in second position, while Katsina got the minister's gong for best appearance. Kaduna State, on its part, has been awarded the hosting right for the 2017 edition. In Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, Anthony Fossen, NTA News.
And now sports. Nigeria begins its race for Russia 2018 World Cup on a good note as Nigerian Army Headquarters Abuja wins first gold of NAFES 2016. Amanzi Marcos reports.
Nigeria Super Eagles Sunday began the race to qualify for the 2018 FIFA